Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Kerbal Space Program. Last we left off, we succeeded in flying a plane and managed to get some money off of being able to fly that plane. And we returned that plane to the hangar and got all of our money back, and we made basically all the money back we got from losing like a couple of aircrafts prior when testing. We still don't have a replacement for Jebediah, though. There will never be a replacement for Jebediah. Jebediah will remain in our hearts forever. But as you can see, I got 98.2 science from something. What could possibly have been that? Well, I took a little trip. I built myself a little science car, filled it up with all the little science modules that I have, and just went around the space program gathering all the science from the different buildings. And as you can see, all that science adds up to 98.2, giving us 179 science. We got all of our money back from using those parts. Bob Kerbal, our scientist, he didn't get any XP from this mission, but he has the ability to reset used science parts, which makes it so I could do it in one go. So with that, we did get some extra money. As if you look at the previous video, and now you'll see. Wait a minute, where did you get like 60,000 monies from? Well, I picked up some more missions. Fly by the moon, which just requires us to get into the sphere of influence of the moon and then come back. So that's really easy. That pays out quite a bit. But as you can see, these missions that I picked up. I got another visual survey mission, and I got some of these test ones. As you can see, they all gave advances. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to pick them up and just grab the advances. And if I do them, I do them. If I don't, then I just have to pay a little bit, pay the money back, and then lose a little prestige. But the prestige we'll gain from doing all these. I think the ones that we can do will make up for the loss. So yeah. That's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna grab all these advancements. So that's where I got all my money from. And now we have another goal in mind. Let's look at the map right now. Let's see what it says. There are a couple places where we need to go now. This one's still there. Where is the other one? There should be another one. Visual surveys. I don't see it on the map. I thought we'd be able to see those other missions, but I guess not. This is the one we need to focus on. When we get, I think I'm going to try to build a ship. I think I might try to build a satellite and try to get this. Oh wait, we can't. Wait, we haven't spent enough science. What am I doing? I'm getting way ahead of myself. Why was that water? Okay, let's get here and spend that science. Okay, so we want solar panels, right? We want solar panels. So we get solar panels and something else. What was the other thing I wanted? I wanted external fuel ducts. So now we have some really good stuff. We have solar panels, so we can build. My plan was to build a satellite. That'll be good. Then the other thing was I wanted to be able to do asparagus and asparagus style staging and use bigger fuel tanks. That was the goal. Look at those fuel tanks. Look at the size of those things. We have the big rockets, or big. I want to see if we have the big capsule yet. It doesn't look like we do. Yeah, it doesn't look like we have the big capsule yet. I bet you it's right here. Yep, there it is. Mark II command pod. 1-2, I should say. But yeah. Then the Mark II lander can. The lander cans... Okay, so the reason why you'd use lander cans, like the idea of using a lander, I should say, like the reason why they use the lander for the moon missions in real life was they needed a way to be able to, like, they couldn't take the entire ship that they brought with them to the moon and then land it and then take it off again. So what they did is they built this smaller vessel that could detach from the main ship. Basically, I think it just split it in half. So they only took half of the ship down to the surface of the moon, then brought half of the ship back up. Saved some fuel, was the idea. In Kerbal's space program, the moon and Minmus especially are just not big enough to warrant, I think, the necessity of a lander. Now, if you were to go to, like, other planets, like, let's say, Duna. Now, Duna is, I mean, you might need to do a little bit more, a little bit more creative, but you might want to take a lander to Duna, so you don't have to land your entire ship that you sent to Duna. So then, that's when you start building landers and whatnot. But until then, I think we're not going to deal with building landers and docking and doing all that. It's better just to land what you brought with you, because you don't need much. So let's yeah. So that's all the science. We spent all of our science, but we got some really good stuff. Now we can really get started on all this stuff and get going. I think the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put a satellite in orbit around Kerbal. The whole purpose of that is if we get missions that involve like do some like an with EVA we have to do in person, don't we? If we have to do science around Kerbal, we can use the satellite to do it. That's the idea. At least that's what I've heard people doing, and so that's what I'm going to assume. So this is going to be what should we call the satellite? Let's call it a knife. It's a knife. It's a knife. Because it's dagger based. It's just a knife though. So we'll use the Stay Popnik. I like the Stay Popnik. We could use this. Why would we? This is lighter. That's why. We use this because it's lighter. Although I think the max temperature is higher. Crash tolerance. Same electric charge. This has a stabilization assistance module on it. I think it's a little bit more stable. It might save us money, actually, to use that instead. Because otherwise we'd have to use the Stay Popnik and this. Well, I think we could just use this. No, I think we do this and we use this. Because I think we need to use this if we use the better satellite body. So we'll just use this. Okay, so what we're going to do right now is just build our satellite. And I'm going to show you just like some simple like what you should do. So I like to just go all out on solar panels. There you go. They're cheap, I think. Yeah, 75. So we just put a bunch of solar panels around it. Probably one on top as well. And the reason why you put one on top is just so you have like all. Ooh, this is weird. This is just too weird. Hold on, I want to get this. This is gonna bug me if I don't get it straight. There. That's about as good as I can get it. That looks pretty good. Okay. So now we're gonna attach some battery packs to it. We're gonna put them underneath though. We might actually put this on there. That's a battery. I don't know if it's got more charge. Let's see, 200, 100. So it's got more charge than. So we put two of these on there. It's like putting those two. Okay. So that's a pretty good amount of electric charge. I don't think we need any more than that. I know it sounds like that's silly. You would definitely need more than that. But I think with all the solar panels we have, I think you only spend like 20 minutes. If you get into like your standard low orbit around Kerbal, it's 20 minutes or a half hour at night for you, because just the size of Kerbal is just not that big. So it takes like 45 minutes to go around Kerbal. going at like 2,000 meters a second. So that's good. We need some fuel on it. What engine are we going to use? What was that? I got a notice or something popped up. I don't know if you guys saw that. Might have just been me. Alright, well, I don't exactly know what kind of engine. I guess we're going to use that engine because none of these other ones make any sense. But we don't need that big of a fuel tank. This is all we need. We did that and did that. The whole entire purpose of this is just to stabilize. This is, or like, this should not, by the time we be in orbit, or we're in orbit, this should not have used anything. That's the idea. If we have to use some of this fuel to get into orbit, we have failed. So we're going to just lift that up. We're going to put the coupler on that. So this is our body, our satellite body. Is there any science? Actually, no. I do want to put science on there. I want to put a transmission thing on there. We'll do this. Okay, hold on. We'll do that. I don't know if this has any mass. It does have a little bit of mass. A little bit of mass is all that is needed to mess things up. Let's just put some symmetry on that and just put it like that. That's fine. I think when you transmit, it will go up and it will go through the body just fine. We don't need. We'll just grab a temperature meeting. I don't think this has any. This has a mass. Oh, that's what we can do. Just to make it look a little bit like a little bit more interesting. Since we know it's locked, if we would do it like right here, so that will go. Hold on. I just want to mess around with this. I want to get this like really looking kind of nice. So that will go up over that. Then we'll put this on this side, and this will balance everything out. So that balances out with that because it weighs the same. Normally that wouldn't be the case because this would cause a little bit more drag because it's upright in the atmosphere, so that would be bad. But I don't think that's how the atmosphere works in Kerbal Space Program. So let's just put on some more stuff. We need to get into orbit, so we use this tank. This tank will be our final orbit. Actually, no, we won't do that. We'll do this one. Actually, you know what? I think we could just here. We'll attach two of these here. Put on the swivel, so we have a little bit more control. Then we'll put on 4 couplers, radial couplers, of course. We'll put them here. Then maybe here. There. And then we'll put on some more fuel right here. And I will show you the beauty of... Hold on. If I can get these on here correctly. Oh, wait. There we go. The beauty of asparagus staging. So we might not actually get into space on this run. I'm just showing you like the various things about this. Okay. So here we got 5 engines connected to 2 fuel tanks each, right? Okay. 2 large fuel tanks. Each one has 360 liquid fuel, 440 oxidizer. Okay, that's good. Now we need our fuel duct. So the fuel duct. Oh, we need to break up these patterns. Let's see. Okay, so now we got it. Oh wait, hold on. Okay, so now we're back. I fixed everything. So basically we've set it up so all 5 engines go off at the same time, right? Then, once two of them empty, these two need to connect straight. Oh my goodness, why did it do that? It's not supposed to do that. This might have been better if I put 2 and 2, because now we're gonna have to do these individually. That sucks. So this one connects to this one, and this one connects to this one. Now these don't really have any weight to them. They do have mass, but it doesn't really matter like their symmetry that much. You just have to make sure that you have them connected in the right spots so that fuel will go into one tank and then not the other. So these two drain into these two, then these two drain into the center one, making it so we ditch these two first, then these two, then the last one. I don't think this is actually used by NASA, but it is a concept that NASA came up with when they were trying to develop their rockets. I think they decided to go with something else because there was a more efficient method of doing it. But in Kerbal Space Program, this is about the most efficient you can be. So this is all set up correctly, I believe. Yeah, it looks all good. So I think this is good enough. Honestly, this costs a lot of money. I just realized this might be overkill. If it is overkill, we might just send it to the moon. just because we can. And then we'll have it orbiting the room, and we can get science in the moon. And we'll send another one that's not over by the moon, okay? So, let's just do this. Let's have some fun. Let's see what happens. You know what? I'm willing to blow 20,000 on this. It's fine. It's fine. So let's just save a knife and then launch. Oh, vehicles. Oh. I don't have the money. Well, I could. Okay. We'll just make it so this is 2 instead of 1, and then we'll just do this. How many parts is that? Okay, that's 29 parts. This should still be good, I think. We might need to put some fins. Oh, we don't have enough room. We also didn't put on a, this is getting dangerous. I wasn't thinking this would happen. We need the SAS, don't we? This isn't good. This isn't good. You know what? It's fine. What could possibly go wrong? We have as many parts as we could possibly put on it. There's no more parts we can put on the thing. So if this doesn't fly, we're just gonna have to do something else. Uh-oh. 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 Be right back! Alright, we're back. Let's see, I have SAS now. So that's why you get the upgraded one. Is for the SAS. I thought the reactionary wheels did that, but the reactionary wheels just make it so you can turn the ship around. Like, reactionary wheels in the game is just the way for you to be able to control your spacecraft when normally you wouldn't be able to. When you're in space, in order to turn, you have to have like some kind of RCS control, which is stands for oh my goodness, reactionary control, I think. Reactionary control surface. Basically, you shoot off compressed air, and that propels you in certain directions. But it allows you to do some minute changes in space. And so, but the game says, we have like this imaginary thing, which is like rotary wheels that allow you to actually move in space when you normally wouldn't be able to. But maybe Kerbal Space is a little bit more soupy. It actually has some stuff in it, or they're using like energy that we haven't really been able to detect. Maybe dark matter or something. I don't know. So anyways, let's just take off. this is all set. I did take off some solar panels because it was a little overkill, and it does eat up parts. And so I decided, you know what, we'll get rid of those solar panels. We'll put on 2 struts to stabilize this thing. All right, so we got SAS. We're throttled up, and go! So we're just gonna wait until we get up to. I guess we can start turning now. We'll start turning now. As you can see, these are draining. This is not. Those are draining. These are not. So, as you can see, we're using up these 2 fuel engines before this middle one. That's why you want to get those fuel ducts. Okay, we need to start turning. And we don't want to turn too much though, because actually, no! Oh noes! Oh noes! Okay, the reaction wheels on this thing are not that good. I'll be right back. All right, new plan. I added winglets on both sides this time. I did revert back to space, back to the assembly bay, mainly because I've lost too much money already, and a Kerbal, and I just can't afford to lose anymore. Just for the sake of the series, I've decided to revert as opposed to just let it crash. I know I said something about just letting it crash, but I need to be a little bit more frivolous and use the mechanics to my best ability. So we're just gonna launch, and this time hopefully it will stay straight. All right, that was a little waste of fuel, but not too much. We've taken off. Those engines are loud. I wonder if I can change those in the settings. But since we've launched now, I'm going to end the episode here, and I will see you next time.